Right, hello and welcome, my name's Jay. I buy and sell on eBay UK. I buy mainly a model railway and sell mainly model railway, funnily enough. I also buy vintage collectibles, music, basically anything that I can buy and sell for a profit online. At least that is the plan. This week's been pretty consistent, to be fair. Happy with the sales that I've got. I have had quite a few personal items go through. I'm a bit of a collector myself, a bit of a hoarder, so every now and then I have a bit of a clear out. And I've been doing so this week. So yeah, that's been good. If you do like the content, please give us a thumbs up. More importantly, if you have got any comments, please put them down below. And if you could consider subscribing to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. So without further ado, I'm going to turn you around and show you what's sold. Right, hello and welcome back. It's now Monday. Firstly, I'd like to apologise about last week's video. I didn't realise until I updated it, or uploaded it even, that I didn't edit it properly. I don't take a lot of time editing the videos, as you know, but normally I crop out the sort of haziness that was around it. And yeah, I forgot to do that last week. I shall remember to do it this week. Fingers crossed anyway. It's Monday, bank holiday Monday. It's been busy again. I think I've got 14 things in total. Starting over here, got this nice DCC, I believe this is. That's the numbers on it. You can't really see it, it's in the plastic. That sold for 40 quid. It is quite a nice, no, I think that's DCC ready, that one. This one is DCC equipped, Great Western. That is a pannier. That sold for 49.99. The other one sold for 40. Tape pack, Helter Skelter one, Technodrome one, that sold for £25. I've then got a DR Llewellyn, is it? Hornby wagon, that sold for £8. Track pack, that sold for £29.99, he says. I've then got another, what's this? Mark Williams and Co. wagon. I think that sold for a tenner. This wagon, in stark contrast, sold for £19.99. It has got a connection missing from it as well. Got a Pack A extension that sold for £19.99. Some Pico points, they sell for £14.99. And then this buyer has bought 5 lots of R607s there. Really happy to get rid of those. So I've got loads of R607s. I'm just going to move this here and bring the camera in and over this way. I don't know whether you can see behind me here, but basically I've cleared, I had stock up there which I've now moved to here, and I'll move the camera down, I'll move it back up, but there and down there now I've got all my wagons and coaches in one place as opposed to it being fragmented. I've now gone through the stock that was up there. I had a load of stock that was unprocessed. I've moved it down. So up here now I've got all the poor condition locos that I was on about. Yeah, just to give you an idea. I think this one, I don't even know what this one is. It looks like it's a Hornby one, but they're in really bad condition. I've gone through the better ones already and got those listed. I think Tommy had seen a few of those. I've got all plastics and so forth here, boxed up, ready to be listed. I've got wagons and so forth in here, boxed up, ready to be listed. More wagons and some locos. Just sort of scraping the barrel with just rubbish bits, really, you know, stuff for restoration. I've got other bits, he says, if I show you down there, to be listed. Tomorrow, my job is to clear this bottom shelf here because that's just been shocking for quite some time. I just really want to get on top of things and get everything that I've got here pretty much listed, and then I can get on and buy some new stock. Yeah, it's been a productive afternoon. I have been at work today, but this afternoon I've come back and I've been like a man on a mission, getting bits and bobs sorted. So hopefully, yeah, I've made a bit of space, and I've actually got a free, I can't show you there, but I can show you. I've got a free shelf down there as well. You'll have to excuse because I can't see the camera, so hopefully you guys can see it when I point it down there. Anyway, listen, this has gone on long enough. I'm going to get this little lot packed up. I'll update you on what's up tomorrow. Cheers. Right, hello, welcome back. It's now Tuesday. I don't know what happened last night, but it just got really, really busy, and most of these sales are from yesterday. Really happy to have them. Starting over here, got a Great Western little 060, is it? Correct me if I'm wrong. It is an on-runner, sold for £16.99. I've then got an 040, I think that's a Great Western as well. That's a non-runner as well. That's sold for a tenner. This buyer bought 3 of these teak coaches. I think on average they were between 12 and 15 pound. I combined the postage for them. I've then got a Dance Paradise Rave tape pack. There is one missing from that. That's sold for 26 pound. I've got a Hornby Thomas Tar Wagon. That's sold for 14.99. Another one of these Trap Pack Ovals. That's sold for 26.99. It's going international. I've got a 43011 dummy car. That's sold for 17 pound. A Rocco wagon there. That's sold for 16 pound. That's the part numbers there. I've then got 2 of these Fishman coaches. One sold for 15 pound. One sold for 11 pound 50. They're the same coaches, but one is in pretty rough condition. The other one's in pretty good condition. Last but not least, got this number 42 Intercity coach that just sold for £12. I normally get a bit more for these, but it has got some marks on the roof. And then back there, I've got a remote control car that I've already packaged up that there's no profit in. I'm just probably losing a tenner on it, but it is what it is. I never bought it to sell it. So yeah, that's been my sales. I'm going to get this little lot packed up. I'll update you on my sale tomorrow. Cheers. Right, hello and welcome back. It's now Wednesday. I had to think for a minute there. A lot of the stuff that I'm going to show you here is wrapped up in bubble wrap, and it's all broken locos, spares and repairs locos. Not all of it, but the majority of it. Shout out to Tony or Anthony, I think it is, and Tommy, saying there was a lot of money to be made in them. On average, the broken locos owe me about £3 each. And they've sold for about £17-18 each. So yeah, happy days. And I've still got a shed load of them down there to go through. So you're all right, fellas. There is plenty of money in them. And I will be looking out for them. So starting over here, non-runner 125. That sold to one of my good customers, Nick. He's bought a shed load of stuff off of me. He paid £17 for that. Pardon me. Always give him a bit of a deal. I've then got this loco, not sure what it is, but that's the numbers, 41089. It's one of the broken ones that sold for £17. Another broken loco in here, or a bit of bubble wrap, that sold for £17 as well. Another bit of bubble wrap, but that's a broken loco in there. That sold for £17 as well. Seems to be either I sent an offer with 10% off or thereabouts. There's a diesel loco in there. It's got the front bogey missing from it. It's untested, in poor condition. Again, £18. This buyer bought a Crossroad. He also bought an Arnold Sands, or she, I can't remember, Arnold Sands wagon. They paid £17 for the pair of them. Got a 42251 Intercity coach that sold for £17. Got just the chassis, because I've got chassis as well. I've got what have I got? I've got tenders, just so much stuff to go through. This chassis here, you know, that sold for a tenner. Owes me next to nothing. Another Crossroad there. I believe this one has got a part missing from it. That sold for a tenner. And then last but not least, I have another diesel loco in here, again with the front wheels. I just said it, didn't I? For the life of me, you can tell I'm not a trained person. Anyway, that sold for £18 as well. The weight is loose in there. They're just all generally for spares or repairs. Hopefully people buy them and know they're getting what I explained there, either spares or repairs or scrap. So hopefully I don't get no bad juju from them. But anyway, speaking of bad juju, I got a return request today on a DCC controller. Fully working. He said it's fully working, but apparently it's not compatible with his train that he's trying to run on it, his loco that he's trying to run on it. So I've had to pay probably £7 or £8 because it was 60 quid. So I always send out anything over £45 insured to get it to him, and another probably £4 or £5 to get it back, purely because he's not running a Hornby train on it and it's a Hornby controller. I get DCC controllers should run others, but is it my fault that it don't work on the train that you want to run it on, or the loco you want to run it on? But hey, that's the cost of doing business on eBay. Anyway, I'm waffling on, got a little bit of packing to get on with. I'll update you on my sale tomorrow. Cheers. Right, hello and welcome back. It's now Thursday. It's still really busy. It's not slowing down, so long may it live, as they say. 9 sales, or no, 10 sales in total. Starting over here, got this power car 43125 Intercity that sold for £29. Got a mail coach there, that sold for $12.99. Conditions not the best on that. Another spares or repairs loco, hopefully you can work it out. It's not a Freightliner one, it's been repainted, but that sold for $17.99. Standard Hormy controller, that sold for $19.99. Got one of these Bachmann powered centre coaches, so it has got a motor in it, it does all work, it runs on DC, not DCC. That sold for £50. Got a Midland Mainline dummy car, that sold for £37. Got a, what is it, I think it's a mainline wagon there, that sold for £8. One of these, I think it's a Selected Light, is it? I don't even know what it does. I'm told it's fully working. That sold for £15. Extension pack B, that sold for £22. And this thing amazed me. You've always got to research what you pick up. So this was in a box of stuff that I bought. It's a track plan. It's the 11th edition. And I thought, let me just have a look. Normally I chuck stuff like this away, or I use it for packing at the end of the day. And I'd looked, and one of these had sold, and there was none available, but one had sold previously for $24.99. I put my one up for $29.99 or best offer. It literally just sold 5 minutes ago for $29.99. So research everything when it comes to this model railway, because you'll be so surprised what's worth money and what isn't worth money at the end of the day. I've just had a nice message from a guy that I bought something off of on, also bought something off of me on eBay. 4 lots of R607s. He's just sent me a picture of this lovely turnstile thing that he's, there's a name for it, I can't remember the name. I'm going to ask him whether I can share it and try and clip that onto a future video so you can see what he's done with that, because I think you've asked, or a couple of you have asked that before. I didn't get a message back from the other guy that bought the Eurostars for me, so maybe he's not keen, or maybe he hasn't done them yet, and if I do get that, I will share that with you guys as well. Anyway, I'm waffling on, I'm going to get this little packed up. I'll update you on what's on tomorrow. Cheers. Right, hello, welcome back to now Friday. 8 sales in total, I think 8 or 9 anyway. Happy to have them. Starting over here, Intercity 43126 power car that sold for £31. I've then got this Lima coach, brown and beige one, is it? That sold for £11.99. Got a Virgin coach, numbers are 42103. That sold for £19. You've seen this before because I've sold it. It's a bit of polystyrene as far as you're concerned, but it's a Thomas and Friends, the diesel shunter body shell. I sold it. I printed off a postage label. I was about to post it, and then they asked to cancel. So I sold it again, £25. I've then sold this wagon, £6.50. A Eurostar power car, that's £35. Got a Helter Skelter Rave tape pack, has got 2 missing from that. That sold for £19.99. And last but not least, got this Pullman. It is a Queen of Scots one, is it? And that sold for £16. So yeah, that's been my Friday sales. Going to get this little lot packed up. I'll update you on myself tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow actually, it'll be Sunday now. Cheers. Right, hello and welcome back to now Sunday. 15 sales in total, all bread and butter stuff to be fair. Starting over here, got a 225 power car with the metal pantograph. That sold for, what did that sell for? I think $32.99 is a runner. A grey packet or some remote control car wheels in there, they sold for $24.99. One of these, another one of these tenders for spares and repairs, that is a motorised one, that sold for $14.99. This is quite a nice one. A loco, that one there. Where's the part numbers? I think the part numbers are on the back of it somewhere, or on the front of it somewhere, who knows. That sold for £51. That's going international. That does need a bit of TLC, that one. I've got some of these water cranes, 3 of them there, they sold for $9.99. This buyer bought 2 lots of R607s. I combined the postage for them, they sold for $12.99 each. R600 sold for $12.99. This green coach here sold to my mate Nick, I believe, for £8. I've then got, what have we got here? Another cheap coach that sold for £8. Just get it out of the way before it falls over. Got a one of these longer Virgin coaches that sold for £25. I've got an Intercity, I believe that is, no, that's a dummy car, that sold for £20. I've then got some parts that I bought by mistake, but
I think I bought these off of AliExpress for about £7. I've sold them on eBay for a tenner, so I'll get my money back on that. And this motor I bought off of AliExpress. This is a remote control car motor. Let's see if you can see it in there. I think I paid £20 for that off of AliExpress. It was no good for what I needed, and I sold it for £35 on eBay. So that and getting my money back, there's a small profit into happy days, and I didn't buy it to sell it in the first place. Then, last but not least, I've got a track mat. This is an unused track mat. I've got quite a few of these in stock. Used to chuck them away, but when they're unused, I keep them, and that one sold for £6.50. So yeah, that's been my sales. If you do like the content, please give us a thumbs up. More importantly, if you could, consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. And if you've got any questions, feel free to put them down below. Cheers.